nice and peaceful here. Too peaceful. I'm Brendan with Sons of Speed, and this is the 2021 Lexus LC500 Convertible. And today we're going to take it down the scenic Stagecoach Trail, which originates out of historic and picturesque Galena, Illinois. But before we get out on the road, let's take a look at the beautiful lines of the LC500 Convertible. You know, when a manufacturer decides to chop the roof off of a coupe, a lot of times that doesn't really translate well into nice lines. But as you can see on the LC500, even with the top up, the roof line looks just as nice, maybe a little less nice than the coupe, but not by much. Now you have beautiful lines all throughout the LC, whether it's the coupe or the convertible. And in the convertible, they continue that on here to the back. The car is just gorgeous. Everyone who sees it loves it. We get lots of thumbs up in this car. It's a fantastic design. Let's go over though a few of the intricacies and some of the fun details on the outside of the car. All right, the first little quirk of the LC500 is that you'll notice that the designers made sure there was no door handle here, because that would have cut into the design, this nice fluid design. So you've got this flush mounted door handle that to open, you simply press that pops this open, and then you just grab and pull. Now, if you see your door handle out like this on an LC500, it means it's unlocked. And to lock it, you simply just push that and it locks and folds the mirrors in for you as well. Moving to the back, the beautiful lines continue. You've got the raised and beveled taillights here that stick away from the top of the trunk lid. And if you were looking for the trunk release down here, you're not going to find it. It's in a little hidden button right over here. Pop that, and because it's a convertible, you have an extra special small trunk. 3.4 cubic feet is all you get for luggage space, although there is the back seat, which is not usable for people, so you could put stuff back there. But it's enough for a weekend getaway with a couple of duffel bags, and you could probably fit a set of golf clubs in here too. Up front, things get a lot better though under the hood, because lurking under here is a 5-liter naturally aspirated V8 engine with dual overhead cams, 32 valves, variable valve timing, all good for 471 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque. It's all mated to a 10-speed direct shift automatic transmission, and man, does it sound awesome coming out the tailpipes. Brakes are huge with 15.7 rotors in front, sporting 6 piston calipers, with 14.1-inch rotors in the rear, equipped with 4 piston calipers there. This car is equipped with the optional 21-inch wheels with 245 wide tires up front and 275 wide in the rear. All right, enough talk in this parking lot. Let's drop the top and go for a drive. All right, so if you're looking for how to actually lower the top and you don't see any buttons anywhere, that's because it's actually hidden right under this wrist pad. So you got to push down on this piece, flip that up. There's your lowering button for the top, along with a button that lowers all the windows at once. And it's the only button that lowers the rear quarter windows as well. So pull back on this button to start lowering the top. You don't have to unlatch anything. The whole process takes about 15 seconds. It's very quick. You can do it at speeds, I think, of up to about 30 miles an hour. I was able to do it just under 30 miles an hour, no problem, putting it up and down. It'll beep at you when it's finally done, and now we're ready to roll. All right, before we actually get going, I want to show you a couple of cool things in here. I've already seen how the power top works. This is pretty trick. You just push that, all becomes a seamless armrest. You've got these awesome paddle shifters that work great. We're going to use them in a bit, and this interior is really nice. I just absolutely love what they've done in here. There are a few little niggles, such as there's no button for your heated seats or heated steering wheel. That you have to go through the menu using the trackpad, which nobody likes the trackpad in the automotive media industry. but this is probably the best iteration of the trackpad, so take that for what it's worth. It's easier to use than it was on the RCF we just had. There is a cup holder down here that holds pretty well everything. You do get a CD player because it's Lexus and that's what they do. To get going, it's a little unusual. This joystick does not move. So you push to the left and back to go to drive. It would be left and up to go into reverse. And if you want to get to manual mode from there, you just push down. So here we go. So I'm going to put the windows up just to make sure you can hear me well and we don't get a lot of wind noise. But there's actually 6 drive modes in the LCF. There's Comfort, Eco, Normal. There's a custom mode that you can set any way you want. And then there's the favorites, Sport and Sport Plus. And there is also something else that's very trick in this interior, and that is the bezel that surrounds the tachometer. So you have this large center tachometer that's all digital, except the bezel around it is not digital. That is an actual bezel. And if you push this button here, it moves to the side, it slides over, and the TFT screen behind it, the electronic screen behind it, just displays more information in a bigger display. That is so awesome. I can't even tell you how appreciative I am that Lexus just went through the trouble of doing that. That couldn't have been cheap. It works flawlessly, beautifully. It's amazing. It's literally one of the coolest things I've ever seen in the interior of a car before. So let's pop this into Sport Plus. And then down into manual mode, because we got some nice twisties coming up. And I want you to be able to hear that exhaust. Oh, and it snaps on the upshift. You get a nice snap. It's quite amazing. And then when the downshifts come with just a nice little burble and rasp. Oh man, that's so nice. Oh, it's just a beautiful thing. This engine and the exhaust note, and you don't hear the exhaust note as well when the top is up. So when the top goes down, you get a beautiful bonus of having the most amazing exhaust note that you can hear the 4 cams working. I mean, it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's definitely a different exhaust note than you get like in a Cam and block, small block V8. But that's a good thing. Every car doesn't have to sound the same. And this one, I mean, those downshifts just sound amazing. All right, let's give this a shot from a dead stop. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of brake and gas. Let go of the brake. A little bit of wheel spin. Oh man. 0 to 60, it's 4.5 seconds. Oh, even in the convertible, that is quick. It's seamless power. The transmission just delivers seamless power. Oh, and these paddles are nice and big. I wish they were mounted to the column, but if they're not going to be mounted to the column, this is a nice feel. It's just like a billet aluminum feel, and it's a nice size. So I will say, with the top being removed, there is a lot of chassis flex. Think like mid-90s Camaro Firebird. I mean, it's almost that bad. I think that's because they didn't really design this car, I don't believe, as a convertible from the get-go. So when you get into like a Corvette, for example, or any of these cars with a carbon fiber tub or anything like that, like those cars are designed to just not flex and to be a convertible the whole time from the get-go, whether the convertible comes out right away or not. But this car has, I don't think they planned a convertible. They just kind of said, well, what would happen if we just turned off, you know, we just took the roof off, you know? And what would happen is you get an awesome sound. It's an awesome driving experience with the roof out. Just an amazing cruiser, boulevard cruiser. It's got this amazing bark to it. But you lose a lot of rigidity when you take that roof off, and you feel it when you go over a bump. I mean, the whole thing just kind of jiggles and flexes. Is that a problem? If you wanted to have like race car firmness, then get the coupe. Once you pop the top and you drop it here and you just get open air motoring, all those concerns go out the window. I mean, you hear that? That's the sound of me not caring about the chassis flex. So of course, this being a Lexus, you get all the creature comforts of Lexus, plus that. But the creature comforts include radar cruise control, lane departure assist, those kind of things. Lexus and Toyota's radar cruise control works better than anything, mostly because it doesn't always just slam on the brakes anytime someone cuts in front of you. It just lets off the gas and lets that gap widen on its own. And so it's so much smoother than you get with any other manufacturer that I've driven. You've got all of the right amenities in here, a really nice wide screen. It isn't touchscreen because you got to use a touchpad, but it's nice and big and works extremely well. And the audio system in this car is amazing. It is really amazing. It works great and sounds fantastic. So Lexus always has really good audio, but it's really, really good in this car, despite the fact that it's a convertible. You have some really nice interior touches, especially on the passenger side. I mean, the passenger's dashboard looks amazing. You've got this really sculpted door that's just phenomenal. The seats are really comfortable, and for a GT Cruiser, which this thing has over a 20-gallon gas tank and gets 25 miles a gallon on the highway, even as a V8. And so your range is very, I mean, you do 500 miles of range right there, and it's comfortable as you drive. And then when you want to get a little feisty, it'll do that too. The brakes are awesome, nice and linear, and it holds the road very nicely in the twisty. So here we go. There's some twisties coming right up. Ooh, there's a downshift. Oh yeah. Woohoo! I mean, this is just a gorgeous road. Stagecoach Trail, named because that's where the stagecoaches used to ride in the old days. Galena's an old western town where Ulysses S. Grant, one of our presidents, right after Lincoln, was born. And you can go visit his house. It's really cool. Oh, that was a downshift by the computer. Nicely done. Oh, if that doesn't put a smile on your face, you don't like cars. Woo! Did you hear that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is amazing. It's a 10-speed transmission, but just to go through the twisties, you basically need 3, 4, 5, maybe 2, depending on how low you get. So you don't get lost in all the 10 gears either. Oh, with the top down and the air going, it just feels so nice. It handles these bends. I mean, the wheelbase is so nice and big. And you see, they would push the wheels all the way out to the edges. And it's just a pleasure to drive on roads like this. Ooh, now the bark on downshift. I will tell you, this car gets a lot of attention. I have been told nice car, I think about 15 times just today. So even off Stagecoach Trail, you get a lot of these little farm roads and lots of elevation changes, lots of nice twists and turns. The steering feel on the LC500 Convertible is really good. You got 245 tires up front, 275 in the rear. It turns in very nicely. It just feels great. It does. What do we have here? Oh. Oh, yes. Oh, the brakes are so nice. Oh, what a great road. Man, the shifts are so crisp. They're right when you want them. When you ask for them, you get them. Unless, of course, you're asking for something that would blow the engine up. Then it won't give it to you, thankfully. I mean, you don't want too much control. You do want the car to save itself when you're too stupid to know what gear you're supposed to be in. But if it can, it gives it to you. And it's such an amazing feeling. Yeah. It almost makes me not miss having a third pedal. Having a third pedal in here, of course, would be amazing. But this is the next best thing. At 4,000 RPM. And the motor just pulls and pulls and pulls and pulls. Oh. It just stays in the torque band so perfectly. It never moves. It never leaves the torque band. It boom, boom, boom. And that's the nice thing about the 10-speed, is that it's always hitting peak torque. It's like a CVT without sucking. Buy a car that makes you feel like that. And with the windscreen back there, especially with the windows up, you hardly get a lot of wind in here at all, so you just get the nice benefit of no sky, nothing blocking your view of the sky, I should say, and you get that great exhaust note. So it's really, you can't go wrong with the drop top. If you just want a cruising car, one that sounds great, looks great, and goes like the Dickens, then you want one of these. You will not regret buying a car like this. All right, now it's time for Ask Button Challenge. Today's Ask Button Challenge is brought to you by @WeAreMotorDriven. Follow We Are Motor Driven on Instagram @WeAreMotorDriven today. Now, as for today's Ask Button Challenge, I am happy to report that there is no auto start stop in the LC500. Thank the Lord. So, Lexus gets an A+ on the Ask Button Challenge, 2 thumbs up, and passes with flying colors. Way to go, Lexus. So we have come to the end of our review of the LC500 Convertible. And I can sum it up for you, I think, best this way. If you're looking for a GT cruiser that you could drop the top on that sounds as amazing as this for around $110,000, then you want one of these. Beautiful car, sounds amazing, goes like crazy, and it just puts a smile on your face every time you drive it. What more can you ask for from a car like this? This has been Brendan. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please hit the like button, throw us a comment, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time here at Sons of Speed with We Are Motor Driven. I could do this all day.